So what's up, everybody? This is your boy Jonathan with the Incel story part 6. Last we left off, okay, so basically the government had snatched up some incels that were posting on a meme forum, and they put them all in this facility where, like, they can use some kind of brain machine to transfer their brain into another dimension while their body stays there. Some Matrix stuff, right? So then the way they were catching incels was this rapper named Slim Thug. He had a bunch of hackers at his disposal who were basically snitching on, tracking down incels where they lived or whatever, and giving the information to the government so the government could snatch them up. And the reason Slim Thug was doing this is because the incel movement was basically taking away his followers, and he was losing a lot of followers. And he had a couple of clothing lines and, deals with some jewelry makers, and he wasn't selling stuff because a lot of the people were giving up on rap music and going to the side of the incels, right? Now, there was another facility led by this guy named Tommy V, who were kind of like the rebels in the story, who were going to try to get back to incels. And so Tommy V finds out that Slim Thug, he knew a little bit about what was going on and the hackers, and so he sent a group to go encounter Slim Thug, right? He sent Erico, the blind girl who survived the government facility, and he sent out Rosa, and Rosa was just a random rebel who used to be a cholo but changed her life around to go against hip-hop and the government. So these two girls show up in Miami, right? They have their full suits on, but instead of shirts and ties, they got Miami Vice style t-shirts, and they got, their nice little chain or whatever, and, trying to blend in with the crowd, right? And they know that Slim Thug is at this hotel. So the two girls walk into the hotel, and they got like these cool clout level sunglasses on their head, on their eyes, so people think they're cool and people think they're celebrities, so they can kind of blend in, right? And they see all these groupies hanging out in the hallway, whatever. And there is an elevator all the way at the end of the hallway, and it is only for Slim Thug and his associates to go in and out of the hotel and up to his room, and that's it. And there's security waiting on the floor where Slim Thug lives, where his suite is, where he's staying, not where he lives, where he's staying. So the two ladies, they approach the guard, right? And Erico, being stuck with her mind in some other dimension, somehow learned telepathic powers and could understand what he was thinking, right? And so, she kind of, used her telepathic abilities to, get him to realize how important they were and how they had some stuff for Slim Thug or whatever, without even talking. She just kind of waved her hand with this Jedi mind tricks thing. And he was like, oh yeah, you can go up and go see Slim Thug, right? They hop in the elevator, and they're on their way to go see Slim Thug. Now, all they have on them is a couple of tasers, right? Just a bunch of tasers. So they get up to that floor, and, the security opens up to them, the elevator, and she does her little Jedi mind trick, waves her hand, ooh, and he's all like, oh yeah, go ahead, Slim Thug, that's fine, right? So they make it to Slim Thug's room, and they knock on the door, right? And he opens the door, and he sees these two hot girls standing there. He's like, ooh la la, hot girls, right? Because, most men are obsessed with hot girls. He's like, yeah, come in, I'll mess with you, come in. They walk in there, close the door, and they pull out the tasers. Get his ass! Like, they shoot him and they get him, and he's all on the floor, and Erico jumps down on top of him and covers up his mouth. Right? She covers his mouth, and she she basically like covers his mouth and starts rubbing on his forehead like this, and does something to his brain. I don't know what she was doing, but she was just rubbing on his forehead to do something to his brain, right? So he starts to get all woozy-eyed or whatever, and he starts to stand up, and he's fine, right? So she's like, let's go take a walk. So they walk over, put some sunglasses on his eyes, super clout level sunglasses, right? And they put a hoodie on him to cover his head, and so you couldn't only see his face, who he is, and put on some sweatpants, like, I don't know, some Adidas track pants or whatever. His sneakers, rappers gotta have those sneakers. And they walk him out. And they walk him out down the hallway, he's like, oh, I'm just gonna go out to the store for a minute and whatnot. I'll be back. So they walk him out of the building into the hotel lobby and out on the street, right? And they walk him to the car. They open up the car, they let him in, and they drive away. Right? They drive away down the streets of Miami. They're gone, right?